Good morning. We had lots of good suggestions on moving the nannies with new kids and maybe kind of how to handle that. And we're going to be kind of maybe trying to set up to do some of those different suggestions next year. The most critical area for us, or time for us, is when they're first having the babies, because you know that first week there's going to be a bulk of them that are born, and everything is that small age where they're highly susceptible to just about anything, and so that's when the critical time is. And so what I did on that next move was we moved them into that pasture from the big pasture. Within a period of, I think, 2 days, I went ahead and opened the gate. I didn't call anything. I didn't try to drive anything. I opened the gate into the next pasture. And I just wanted them to start drifting. At some point, I got the mineral and put it over in the gate to the new pasture, and I just wanted them to drift on their own, get their baby themselves. If they don't bring their baby, go back and get their baby. And it took about 4 days for them to kind of get everything cleared out. And I was able to make a drive through there and shut the gate. So what that did was that put me in the next pasture early. So it's going to limit the time I could stay in the next pasture as far as the parasite control. So within a couple of days, I opened up the gate into the next pasture, which is where we are now. And it's kind of a longer, skinny pasture, which kind of leads me to one of the comments that I think is a great idea. But they immediately saw me open the gate, so they just started coming, and that's where we are now. This is the next day, and they basically almost all came out. Now some babies have gone back, but you can hear all the commotion this morning, and the mamas are trying to get their babies to come with them. You can see them going in, and you see babies back over there kind of hanging out where they hung out, and the mamas went back in there trying to get the babies to come, and then they'll come back in here. But there's a lot of pairing up going on. So here's the slackers. I say they're slackers. They've actually gone back to feed the babies. Now they just need to coax them to that gate right there. Once they can get them to come through that gate, as long as they don't go back, they'll have them. But it's a difficult thing, especially for a new mama and a new baby. You know, those babies, they just kind of want to get up and eat and then lay back down. Now, there's a point in there where they want to get up and eat, and then they want to buck and pitch and run, and that's when they'll really go with their mamas, because they see that as a challenge. So that's okay. If they do it all on their own, then they should have an idea where they left them. And as long as they have an idea, I think it'll be a little more successful. So, since we started doing that, which has only been 2 moves, but we have lost 0 babies, have had 0 issues with that. Now the question will be is how does the parasite infestation, how is that going to be controlled? Is it going to be okay, or is it going to be bad? And only time will tell on that. So we're monitoring that. It's a balancing act, and it is you know, it's an ongoing challenge that we're kind of facing and dealing with, and as I'm sure a lot of you guys are. We got some really funny comments on that last one. People with comments that I'm sure don't know. They think all the meat comes from the grocery store. That they grow it in the grocery store, and and then they pick it off the plant in the grocery store and package it up, and then you go buy your meat. Anyway, let's take a look at them. The kids are doing well.
All right, Brett's gonna try his roping skills. There's the female that he's been watching in here with the stalkers. She had her baby. We actually came down here to get her this morning and take her down with the main herd of goats, and she had already had her baby. And she's skittish, so we couldn't catch her. So Brett went back and got the rope. We'll see how he does. Babies relaxing, getting some sun. Looks like he's opening the corrals and he's gonna pin them and sort her off.
Lisa guessed right. I decided to pin them. Anyway, got them pinned finally. It was difficult to pin them. That's my fault for not teaching them to drive well. I've been pulling them with the buckets of feed, and that's what happens when you just pull them all the time. You got to teach your animals to drive and to come. So anyway, I got them in, got her sorted off. She's in here. I'm gonna turn the wethers back out, and then Lisa went to get the baby.
All right, we got her.
I'm sorry we didn't get that on film as we put her out, but it was kind of a little bit hectic, and we wanted to get the box down on the ground, and then we got the baby out about 5 feet away and then opened the door and let the mom come out to it. So what we were trying to do is we were trying to find an area that there wasn't a ton of goats around, but there was some with some babies. And so there was a mama here that has had twins this morning, and so we thought, what a perfect spot. And then there's a lot of goats out around the perimeter. So it worked great. Thank y'all for watching, and hope to see you next time.